Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for iPad today is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com.
Coming up, 8 great ways to listen to new music.
A better way to find apps for your iPad.
And YouTube with all the naughty bits cut out.
It's time for iPad Today. iPad Today is brought to you by Lynda.com. Invest in yourself and start learning today. Lynda.com has thousands of courses to help you learn new tech, business, and creative skills. For a free 10-day trial, visit lynda.com/iPad Today. That's LYNDA.com/iPad Today. And by Gazelle, the fast and simple way to sell your used gadgets. Find out what your used iPhone, iPad, or other Apple product is worth at Gazelle.com. And by MeUndies. MeUndies is the most comfortable, the hippest underwear you'll ever wear. Check out all the styles and get 20% off your first order plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/twit. Well, here we are, iPad Today once again. Megan Morrone, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Megan, the host of Tech News Tonight on this network, i5 for the iPhone. Sarah Lane, traveling again for her hot job.
Traveling the world.
Traveling the world. She was in Los Angeles, I think. So thank you for filling in.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm always excited. I love this show. I don't get to talk. I work with you, but I don't really get to talk to you as much as I would like.
It's because I keep myself locked in my office to avoid people like you.
Good to know.
Yeah. We're going to, today, we're going to do something that is kind of inspired by all the rumors going on about Beats being incorporated somehow into iTunes. In fact, that isn't going to happen real soon. We're at iOS 8.1.2, I think. 8.2 is going to come out when the watch comes out, so that's April. 8.3 is going to come out after that. That will add, I believe, Apple Car. And it won't be till 8.4 that we expect the Beats software to be integrated into iTunes. That's what the rumor sites
And when you say Apple Car, you mean CarPlay, not an actual Apple car.
I don't know what I mean. That's one of the joys, frankly, of being at an advanced age. I have no idea what I'm talking about. You're right. I mean, Apple Air. What is it? Apple CarPlay.
CarPlay, right? Yes.
There's Child's Play and there's CarPlay.
There's CarPlay.
That's how
and then there's the Apple Car, which I believe is true based on my sources, which are none at all.
Yeah, we had a great conversation on Twit yesterday, as we record this, about Apple Car, and I floated the theory that this was really a lot of hand waving to distract people from the Apple Watch, which is about to come out, and that the real problem might be that the Apple Watch isn't everything Apple had wanted it to be.
Really?
We saw a big article, I think it was in the Wall Street Journal, that. You know, remember when you see an article in the Wall Street Journal, a lot of times that's planted by Apple. Those are articles that Apple, you know, if it says an unnamed source at Apple, that's a plan.
Right.
And the car story, the Apple Car story, was definitely one of those. But shortly before that story, there was a story in the Journal, and I'm not sure if it was a plan or done actual reporting, but that the Apple Watch, the plan for the Apple Watch was to have a lot of health sensors, like 12 different health sensors, including, you know, stuff that you can't do with a watch right now, blood pressure monitoring, maybe even glucose, EKG, and that they couldn't do it. The sensors were not reliable enough, took too much battery life, or I think this is an important one, the FDA said, you know, if you're going to recommend, this is the case, if you're going to recommend health, you know, care based on these sources, like, you know, your blood pressure is too high, get to the hospital, you have to get it regulated by the FDA. You can't just put it out.
Right.
So I think Apple, again, remember Apple had that famous meeting with the FDA last year, and we didn't know what about. I'm thinking that's when the FDA said, look, guys, you can't do all this stuff. Until, if you do, you're going to have to get the Apple Watch approved by FDA before you sell it. And Apple decided, let's take all this stuff out. But now I think they're faced with a problem that the Apple Watch is going to be somewhat disappointing. This is my theory.
Yeah, well, my favorite part of why they pulled back the thing is, remember that it was going to be too, if your arms were too hairy, it didn't work. Did you read that? Yes, like the sensors didn't work if you were too hirsute.
I think most Apple users, I certainly include myself, among them would be perfectly happy to shave our arms for the Apple Watch.
And I actually think that maybe it doesn't really matter what the Apple Watch has on it. We still want one.
I think it's going to sell.
But do you want the $20,000, the allegedly $20,000?
But I won't get it.
You won't get it.
I'll get the, I think, well,
You'll
I
get
don't
it for
know.
Lisa.
Lisa may get it. You never know. I've actually talked her into getting one. She said, I want an Apple Watch. I said, please, because if you have an Apple Watch and I have an Apple Watch, then I can tap you on your wrist by tapping my watch.
That's a good idea. You don't need the EKG, all the health monitoring, just being able to
I can draw a fish and you'll see it. Isn't that cool?
Do you guys follow each other with your iPhones? Like Find My Phone? Like, do you know where she is at all times? I mean, I know you work together and live together.
I see her through the window, but no, I don't actually.
No, yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
We could do that. I don't use an iPhone most of the time. I don't.
Right.
I like my iPad, and I could still see her on there, but I don't use an iPhone most of the time. Anyway, enough of that.
All right.
So we know Beats. Apple bought Beats.
Yes.
We know that they're going to do a streaming service probably sometime this year. We thought we'd show you. Many of you are familiar with Pandora, Spotify, Audio. But we thought we'd take a look at some of the better music apps, including Beats, on the iPad today. You want to kick things off?
I do, yeah. I was very excited when you said music streaming services. I got nervous at first because I thought, oh, all I use is Pandora.
But you know what? Pandora's #1.
Right.
You're not alone. This is the service almost everybody uses, and most of the time people are just say, that's fine, that's all I need.
I love it. I pay for it. I've been paying for it for the last 4 years, and then...
It's cheaper than Spotify, right? Because Spotify's $10 a month. Most of the other services, Beats, are $10 a month.
Yeah, it's really cheap. I mean, it's like $30 a year or something.
It's like a year.
It's nothing.
But you can't choose the songs.
But so I think that Pandora has trained me to not care about choosing the songs.
You don't want to choose the songs.
But I don't know. But then once the world was opened up to me, once I realized like I could find this music and keep it and play it whenever I want, I thought, oh, wait a minute, that's the way it used to be. So let's look at Beats. Now, Beats is going to change, you're saying, but it'll still be a few years from now.
Well, not a few years, a few iOS updates from now, sometime this year.
Okay.
Yeah, we think it'll change, but I don't know how much. This is Beats today.
This is Beats today, and I just signed up for the free trial, which you can do, and I heard it from a reliable 11-year-old source that once that runs out, you could just sign up for it again.
Oh.
So I don't know if they're just in transition when they're, transitioning to their.
Will it just use a different email each time?
No, same email.
No? Same email.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't recommend that, but some 11-year-olds do that. So my favorite part is actually the sentence. Have you used the sentence?
Yeah, show us this.
Okay. So here's the sentence that's going to play the exact music that I want. So
this is like Pandora in the sense that you're not going to pick an album or an artist. You're going to say, I'm in a mood.
Well, I am going to do this because that's what I was trained to do with Pandora. That and I think I used to do that with my iPod. I just want to shuffle. Like I don't want to be making the decisions.
Jimmy Iovine, who started the Beats Music Service, said he wanted to bring curation back to music. That people don't want to pick an album. They want an expert. Used to be a DJ on the radio, but they want, or now it's kind of your friends, but they want somebody to help them find discoveries. A big deal. Find the right music.
And now, here's a question for you. Does that, when you used to be over at someone's house and they were playing their record collection or their CD collection, and you thought, oh my gosh, this person is so cool because their music, they went out and they picked it.
Yeah.
But now with Pandora, it's almost like that cool factor.
Like you have that friend.
Well, or is the cool factor gone? Because if you're like, oh, you're just listening to the Cheap Trick Pandora station, you didn't actually choose all of those. No, maybe. Maybe it is, or maybe I listen to show tunes. I mean, I'm proud of that.
I actually have a Pandora show tunes.
I have a chorus line Pandora station.
So the way Pandora works is you pick an artist, and then they build a channel based around it. Not all that artist, other people who are similar. Beats is doing it something like that. You're saying what mood you're in? Show us the sentence.
So you can say I'm in the car. Okay, well, maybe I'm not in the car. I am
at the beach, camping, at a barbecue, poolside.
At work.
At work. You are at work.
And I feel like...
What do you feel like?
What
are the choices there? Pre-partying?
Dancing, going back in time, jet setting.
Wow.
Sleeping in.
Making bad choices.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to make some bad choices.
Okay.
With extraterrestrials.
What?
Or with no
pants on, my best friend forever.
What do you think? My BFF?
Yeah.
My coworkers. You're my coworker.
You're here.
What do you want to... So now here's where
this is where you pick the style. Okay.
Which do you want to listen to? The 2000, 90s pop rock?
90s.
Hair
I
metal?
love the 90s. How do you go back?
That's a really great question. We don't want to go back.
No, go forward. Only forward.
Hair metal.
Hair metal. Okay, so you've built a sentence by choosing kind of like Mad Libs. I'm at work and feel like making bad choices with my coworkers to hair metal. I wonder what you're going to get.
Play the sentence.
Tears Are
Ooh,
Falling.
by Kiss.
That's good.
Yeah. You know, and unlike Pandora, you can skip through.
Unlimited.
Right.
Pandora,
And-
you could skip like 6 times a day or something.
Yeah, it depends on if you pay or you don't pay. So let's say I think, oh, Coming Home by Cinderella, this totally reminds me of my youth.
Really?
You can heart it. Yeah.
You can heart it.
Yeah.
So they'll know you're doing the right. This is a little like Pandora.
Yes, it is. But then, but you can also, like, I want to keep that. I want to add it to my library. That is unlike Pandora.
But that's now a new station, or you're just adding Coming Home?
No, then I can listen to that song whenever I choose. With Pandora, you can't listen to songs
go back.
whenever.
You
or you can add it to a playlist. So here's my daughter's playlist that she made immediately. We'll check and see.
Now, your daughter's 11. Did she enjoy it?
She did. And that's where you see where this happens. You see, you know, because she's just used to Pandora, and she started playing with this.
She wanted this choice.
She wanted this, and she immediately, there's all the music that she wanted to listen to. And you see how they, you know, that's what they want. They want to get those tweens because then they want to keep them forever.
Well, and that's one question that Apple is facing with Beats. When Beats first came out before Apple bought it, it didn't get a lot of traction because it came out late. It was well after Spotify and RDO and everybody else, Pandora. And they only got 110,000 subscribers when Apple bought them, which is tiny compared to the millions, tens of millions that something like Spotify. I think Spotify is the biggest. Pandora is bigger than Spotify even. So I've had this debate. You know, they were late, so people didn't adopt them, but there's nothing to keep you at a particular place, except I guess if you've created a lot of playlists and stuff.
That's true, yeah, it is. Yeah, we think about people staying with an operating system.
Is it
but there's
sticky?
I don't know if it is. You know, the other thing that we haven't talked about is artists and what they're making from this, which is a huge part of the issue. And
Pandora has said, Tim Westergren, the founder of Pandora, has said, we pay billions to the labels. We don't know what the labels pay their artists.
Right.
But when Taylor Swift complains about Spotify and not making enough money.
And she took her music off there.
She took her music off there. Well, the story is a little more complex, a little more nuanced, because she said, I don't want my music, 1989, my new album, to be available at Spotify's free tier. You can keep it on the paid tier, but I don't want to imply that my album is free, is not worth something.
Right.
And Spotify said, no, no, it's got to be on both or not at all. And so she said, well, okay, not at all.
Right.
Notice she didn't take it off any other service, by the way. It was more of a trying to get people's raise awareness than it was to literally take it off. Because as we can see, this is how people discover music.
Yeah.
If you, there are groups that are not on any of these streaming services, and those groups, I think, miss out because people don't listen to the radio. Let me show you a service that I'm kind of into, but it's twice as much. It's $20 a month, but it just came out in the United States. It's called Tidal. Now, you had great discovery features, and by the way, the libraries are roughly the same in all of these services, but there might be some exceptions. In fact, I'm wondering. Let's see if we have the Beatles. This is one that most of these services do not have. The Pandora will play Beatles music.
Yes.
Yeah, but
well, and iTunes.
It looks like no actual Beatles. There's not any real Beatles albums here. Well, here's the Beatles' greatest hits. Oh, as performed by a group named Bornongen Beatles. So you see, that's. How about on Beats? Do you have actual Beatles music on the Beats?
I think so. Well, actually,
I have McCartney. I have Lennon. This is one thing that bugs me. Sometimes even on Pandora, you'll get a karaoke version.
Oh yeah.
Instead of the real
Beatles
deal.
Featuring Tony Sheridan.
Well, that's because
Beatles.
that's before the Beatles were famous. This is pre kind of real Beatles, and so it doesn't have. Here's the Beatles with Pete Best, the drummer they fired.
But
actually,
now
I'm going to probably listen to those. But so here's what's different about Tidal. And it is roughly the same library. And again, on many of these, you're not going to get artists like the Beatles or Metallica. Tidal is playing back what they call hi-fi. So unlike a lot of these, and this is why they charge twice as much, what Tidal's doing is playing back CD quality streaming music. Originally, most of these services were playing back MP3s or AACs, highly compressed, because nobody had the bandwidth. But as we get more and more bandwidth, and this wouldn't be a good choice perhaps in the car or if you don't have a lot of bandwidth at home, or if you have bandwidth limitations, but the quality is CD quality. They're streaming uncompressed audio. That means it's going to start a little bit slower.
sounds good.
It's going to sound a little bit more edgy. No. Wow. This is a band called Blur. How about a little Kendrick Lamar? Maybe something a little bit smoother. So, well, we probably shouldn't play much music at all, but this is some discovery. You saw the title 10. It's this week's hot title music. But they also, you could choose albums. This is like, very much like any...
That is, I heard that last night in my nightmares.
Modern music is not what it used to be, let me tell you.
Modern music.
Yeah, modern, I don't like this. You can AirPlay it, and that's something you should be looking for when you get an iPad app for your music. The ability to play that back through your stereo via AirPlay or any Apple TV device is, I think, important. So $20, I have to say the quality is better. But I'm not sure if I hear a difference on the things in my car, for instance, on the things that I normally play. But very much the same kind of things. You can listen to music. This is kind of neat. This is Shazam-style audio search. So if I'm at the hairdresser and I hear a song, I can say, listen to this, and then find the song and then add it to my title playlist. They have all the same basic features. A couple of things I do look for. Crossfading, and this allows you to set how long the crossfade is. You know how most services, Pandora does this, the song ends, next song begins, and there's sometimes a little bit of a gap between the two.
Right.
You lose your thread. Crossfading's nice because in about 4 seconds, that's great. You can choose your default streaming quality, so you don't have to select hi-fi. If you're in the car, you can go a little bit slower, but there's no point in buying this service if you don't listen most of the time to hi-fi. Why am I not... There we go. Back to the settings.
Music quality is really interesting too, because I think that is becoming less and less important to people.
Less important? Nobody cares about
as people
quality.
are younger. The kids. I mean, kids will listen to they'll listen to music on YouTube through through a video that is not music quality. Isn't that important to? I know the kids today, they don't care about the music.
Maybe
quality.
this is for old folks. This is TIDAL. Just came to the United States. $20 a month. What do you got?
What do I have? I have a couple more. The next one is Stereo Mood, which you told me about.
Stereo Mood.
And it does. I do not think it does have the same library as those. I think this is
it's
more
very limited.
Right. This is more of a music discovery service, and this is what I think artists really like that can't show up, and the bigger services can't get on the radio. So you can go with a mood. I was looking at a review of this, which was interesting. It says, if Pandora is your brain, because Pandora has all this science behind what you're going to like, then Stereo Mood is your heart.
Oh.
So I went jazzy, and I listened to this. I did not know any of these bands that played.
Did you like
the music? I liked them. Yeah, and I had to skip through some. And you can tag. So if I'd actually think that is more, if I'm going to use that for running, then I can tag it.
Oh, that's nice.
So then I can listen to all my songs that I like to listen to when I'm running. There's also all these moods that you can scroll through here and listen to.
Is that picture like a visualization, or?
It doesn't move, but yeah, no, it's just a it's a background.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a cool. It's pretty basic. I mean, they.
How much does it cost?
It's free.
Okay, so.
Free, and there are ads, I believe, on there. But yeah.
But on the screen, or are they in the stream? Do you hear this?
Not in the stream.
Not in the
no.
stream. Okay.
But it is free. But then they have these apps. I think this alarm clock app costs money, if you want to get that. And you can have a profile.
So it's in-app purchases that keep them afloat.
Yes, and so it's also.
Did you just play this, play it in the house and let it go for a while? And it puts you in the nice,
and there wasn't
mood?
A single artist that I recognized, but it was some things that I liked and some things that I did not like so much. And you can see these are other users, and you can find out, let's see what these other users like. So it is more of a music discovery service. I'm feeling heartbroken.
I got one you can't listen to. How about that?
Yeah, I had one of those too. I am feeling this is becoming more of a monopoly. I mean, you were going to talk about Google Play Music that just has the iPad
I love
app too.
And that's good timing, because that's another reason we did this. I use Google Play Music. That's also 10 bucks a month. They call it All Access. But you get some additional things. They get the Music Key service, which is the YouTube videos without ads, and you can make a playlist and stream them. So if you watch, this actually is perfect for the iPad.
Yeah.
Because you can watch or start play music, pick the theme, and then AirPlay it to your Apple TV, and now, or your Chromecast if you have Chromecast, and now you can listen and watch videos too. So that's kind of neat. They bought a company called Songza. We've recommended Songza in the past. Songza is kind of like Pandora again, or that mood one you just showed, where you pick what your mood is. So having fun at work. Let's see if we can never-ending playlists, hip-hop hits, or hip hits of the 50s and 60s. And then you drill down, and these are the radio stations: Motown Mamas and Folk Heroines, Twist and Shout. And then you start playing the radio station. But Google Music has the same thumbs up, thumbs down, the same thing, right? Probably nobody's ever going to play that song again. But that's Songza. So that's a discovery service.
It's interesting they can use the thumbs up and thumbs down like Pandora. Pandora didn't.
Yeah, I thought Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel got that one, but maybe not. You can have your albums, so you can have, I think, up to 25,000 songs uploaded from your system, songs that may not even be in their library, and that's nice. So I have the Complete Beatles, for instance. So I'll be able to listen to the Complete Beatles on my Google Music because I own them, and I can listen to it. My friend Steve Martin was looking for a service that would allow him to, he makes music. He's a bluegrass player. He likes to upload his music so he could have his bluegrass tracks or even like preliminary ideas, and Google Play Music will store it and allow him to play it back. So having your own music on there is great. There's I'm Feeling Lucky Radio, which is based on your musical taste. That's another kind of Pandora-ish thing. And then you can search just as you would with any of these. I just read the New York Times has a new column where they talk about stuff that came out in the past. They were reviewing Fleetwood Mac's Tusk album, which I hadn't listened to in a long time, and I don't actually own. So I went on here and I got Fleetwood Mac's Tusk album and started to listen to it, and then realized why I didn't buy it. So, but that's nice, right? And there's a lot of discovery in here, so that's fun. And now you see here the videos. If I start the videos playing, this is pulling it off of YouTube, mostly from the Vivo channel, so it's legitimate. And then it makes a YouTube playlist that you can continue to play. So there's a lot. I think for a lot of people, especially if you're in the Googleverse, I'm a real fan of Google All Access. I think it's a really a great music service. So I forgot I was going to mention that. So let me throw that in. And then I said there's a service I can't yet use. Deezer is coming to America. This is something that's pretty popular in other parts of the world. But you sign up now to get an invitation down the road. If there are some systems, Bose, for instance, has some product codes and stuff. But I'm very intrigued. Deezer looks like a pretty nice service as well. So there's Google Play Music, and if you want to sign up for one which isn't out yet in the U.S., Deezer. One of the reasons I'm interested in them is that they just bought, is it Stitcher? They just bought one of the companies that plays a lot of our stuff. I think it's Stitcher. So I'm going to be watching with great interest to see what they do, because they're going to, in other words, they'll have music plus talk, which is something I'm kind of intrigued by.
The other thing that a lot of these services have that I love is comedy albums. I listen to tons of comedy on Pandora.
Pandora has comedy.
Yeah, but then with the way Pandora works, you pretty quickly run out of the
You've heard
comedy.
it all.
Yeah, what they play. But then, you know, with Beats, you can just listen to the whole album.
Right.
So I really like that. I'm into the comedy.
What else do you have?
I have Noon Pacific, which is $1.99. And what they do, the reason why it's
Wait a minute, what? Noon Pacific?
Noon Pacific. And it's called Noon Pacific because it started out sending out curated music every week.
This is very different from the other ones.
Yes, it is.
And people who use this love it.
Right. And this is, again, a music discovery service. So it's, you know, music blogs have curated all these lists of music. And it's really, if you want that cool factor we were talking about before, this is what it is. So
so this is what there used to be their newsletter, but they just give you the music.
Right, yeah.
So you just listen.
Yes, and
this is Discovery too, right? These are major artists, or are they?
I think they're indie artists.
Indie, okay.
I don't think they're on labels. And
I like that.
Yes. So you can skip 3 times per channel with this one, which is kind of has that that same sort of Pandora. They're not gonna
These are services designed to kind of replace your beloved DJ on your local album rock station. Where here was a person who introduced you to new music by playing it on his radio show. You had really no control over what he was playing. Right. But you discovered stuff.
Right. And this is not, you know, like you would listen to the radio now and it's all, you have no control over it, but also you wonder who's behind why, you know, the big label. So yeah, this is very cool. I've heard a lot of music.
Would you think you'd listen to more of this?
Yeah. Yeah, just when I'm,
I like
around
this
the house.
song.
I do, in the car, and it's hard. I wish I had more time to listen to everything. Don't you?
You know what blows me away is how many talented artists there are out there who are not signed to major labels, who are not Lady Gaga or Miley Cyrus. These talented artists are not getting exposure. They may be artists that you would love, songs that you would love. And so I really appreciate apps like Noon Pacific because it lets you find this stuff.
Yeah, well, it's a conundrum, right? Because it's like these apps allow you to get the exposure that you need, but then once you have the exposure, then they're sort of taking the money from you that you would. Right. So it's like these small services are great, but then once you get to the bigger services, I think it's really, I mean, I'm a fan of Taylor Swift, and I like that she said that. Yeah. I like that she...
My music is not free. I put a lot of work into it. I'm not giving this away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm really interested in what's going to happen with Beats, and because I think Apple obviously has a lot of money. I don't know if you heard, and so maybe they will be able to give artists more money, and maybe they will be able to give a better deal to them.
I saw the story you did on TN2 about after the Grammys, the Grammy event, and Jimmy Iovine went to the Billboard covered it, the after Grammy party, or maybe it was the before. It was Clive Davis's before Grammy party. And Jimmy Iovine, who runs Beats, was basically holding audience. The record executives came to him because they're saying, please help us. We would like a service that pays our artists. You can raise the issue of maybe the problem is that the labels don't have good deals, but whatever. That pays our artists, but we do need music services because people don't listen to the radio anymore. I think the music industry is putting a lot of hope on Beats and what Beats can do for them.
Well, they don't listen to the radio and they're not downloading music anymore. I mean, the streaming services are going up and the downloading is going down. And I mean, but look how they do it in the App Store. Like, I think that there is no in between. There's no label for app developers, and it works. I mean, I don't hear a lot of app developers complaining that they're not making enough money. So they already have that system in. They've already done it.
When iTunes started, and to my knowledge is still doing it this way, they did not do deals with individual artists. If you were an independent artist, you'd had to go to somewhere like CD Baby, which was kind of a umbrella group that did have a deal with iTunes. You'd go to CD Baby, and then CD Baby would get you on iTunes. I think because Apple didn't want to do onesie, twosie contracts with 1 million artists. But very interesting, though, if they reversed course on that, and they start making it possible, just as app developers do, to go directly to the App Store or directly to Beats.
But then the only problem with that is app developers have ways to make more money. They can do in-app purchases or ads, and you can't really. I don't want to see product placement in music.
If you want to hear the hook, it'll only cost you 99 cents. If you want to hear the next chorus, 99 cents.
And
you like this song? You want me to end? 99 cents. I think there's some money there.
Yeah.
I got one more for you.
Okay.
This isn't music exactly. Yesterday, USA. This, when I was a young man, radio was the red network and the blue network. It was old-time radio. Come on, open up for me. What's going on? Oh, it's crashing. This is old. Switch to what? Oh, this is. I had the same problem with Batanga. I couldn't. Anyway, old-time radio. And they have a schedule. There's many feeds. You can add your own feeds and custom URLs if you like old-time radio. But maybe this program is out of date now because it doesn't seem to be. It's called Yesterday USA. Let's try one more. I'm going to start one more time. Give you one more shot. Yesterday USA. Red Network. Oh, I wanted to play old-time radio too. All right. Never mind. Forget I mentioned it.
Well, I have one more because we were talking about Batanga, which is
that's a Latin
radio, Hispanic, and it looked cool. And they're a whole network, and they do have a lot of amazing things beyond their streaming music service. I couldn't get their app to work, so the NPR Music was another one.
Now this is kind of cool. This is the ultimate curation.
Yes. So if you ever listen to the Tiny Desk concerts when they have people into the All Songs Considered office, and you can listen to all of those. You can also, there's an All Songs Considered music channel. So some of these are new indie music, and some of them are like, there was Slater-Kinney, who's, you know.
This all started because they were playing such interesting music on the NPR news shows, like All Things Considered. Bob Boylan, who was a producer there, said, you know, we really ought to focus on the music we're playing, because our producers are picking really interesting, unusual, non-name brand bands, and we can introduce it to people.
Right.
And this is a great app, NPR Music.
So, yeah.
And look, you get all the
Tank
copy
didn't
too,
work,
so you can learn about them. I think this is
This
really
is when
nice.
you get the cool factor.
This is very much a curated system, and if you like the kinds of music they pick, which is
this is all Latino.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
I
you
like
get
it.
to
Isn't that great?
it's like old-fashioned radio, but yeah, and you can
It's
watch
like
videos
old-fashioned
too.
radio.
The old-timey radio. So yeah, that is free, obviously.
well, there you go. That we
Sure.
promised you 8 music apps, and we delivered. I think we did even more than 8.
We
I don't know.
might have, yeah, because we talked about Google Play too.
Yeah, I forgot about Google
We
Play. I'm glad
always
you
go
reminded
the
me.
extra mile. I really am interested in. Now, is the Google Play app better on your? Do you have an Android tablet that you use it on, or just
No,
your
it's just exactly
phone?
the same.
It's this.
So for the longest time, we were using it as the iPhone app on the iPad, but now that they have the iPad version of this, it's pretty much the same. But it's just it's a nicer layout. I think it's prettier when you look at the band. You can read more about it. It just fits the iPad better. I think it makes it much more, frankly, much more desirable than just the iPhone version.
Yeah.
So maybe you didn't like Google Play because they didn't have an iPad version. Well, now they do.
Well,
And they are to be commended.
I think it's interesting
finally
because
doing that.
we were having this discussion about iTunes before iTunes came out. You and I, Leo. Like,
Really?
I remember back in the day when we used to commute to San Francisco together.
About 2003
Yes,
when
it
that
was like
came
we
out.
were using Kazaa and Napster.
Kazaa?
Yes, Kazaa.
And Napster. Those are the things that let you pirate songs.
Yes, and I remember saying,
LimeWire.
Yes, LimeWire. I remember saying to you, well, or you saying to me, I can't remember who it was, until they have a way where I'm not paying, $15 for an album that I only want one song, then I feel okay
Exactly.
with getting this music. And then they did, and then we started paying for it.
iTunes
so.
changed everything, much to the chagrin, I think, of the music industry, because
Yes.
the music industry wanted to sell albums, but iTunes introduced the $99 single, and that's how people want. That's what we wanted.
Right.
Listeners wanted. You were
Yes.
right.
Or you were
If
right.
you said
I can't remember.
you were
said
right.
it.
If I said it, I was right.
Right.
Whoever said it was right.
Right. I think you said it probably, and then I said it to all my friends pretending it was my idea. Should we do some news, or should we do
Nope,
some...
we got an ad, but
Okay,
for all
yes,
the links
let's
to the
do
apps
that.
we just mentioned, go to twit.tv/IPT. That's the iPad Today page. Or you can subscribe to the show. The show notes are available, though, at twit.tv/IPT, and you can get links to all of these apps if you'd like to download one for yourself. We'd love to hear from you, too. iPadToday@twit.tv is the email address. iPadToday@twit.tv. And we have a phone number. If you want to leave us a voicemail, this is yet to work. We've been doing this show. This is episode 236, and we have yet to get a good voicemail message. Keep it to 30 seconds. Begin with your first name and city. Don't give me your last name. And if it's to the point, we'll use it. 757-504-iPad. 757-504-iPad. A little later on, we have a YouTube submission. That's another way to do it. Just record something on YouTube and send it to us at iPad Today Show. I'm sorry, at iPad Today at twit.tv. Our show today brought to you by lynda.com. I love Lynda. Okay, Lynda. Lynda is a great place to learn for yourself, for your career, if you want to get a promotion or a raise, or just because you have a hobby you'd like to get better at. I love photography. There's no better place to learn photography than at Lynda, Lynda.com, because these instructors are not just teachers. They're great teachers, but they're also full-time photographers. So they know their stuff. 4,500 courses on everything from web development and photography to visual design, business, negotiation, resume building, how to read a balance sheet. That's actually the course I took because I have no idea what I'm looking at. Software training too, Excel, WordPress, Photoshop, all taught by experts. New courses are added every week. And when a new version of software comes out, like the new Logic Pro when it came out just a few weeks ago, or the new Apple Swift programming language, Lynda jumps right on it. They have courses almost immediately. So it's a really great place to learn new stuff as well. Some of the courses I've recommended in the past and used, some of them, iPhone and iPad photography using iOS 8, came out like right away. Getting Things Done with Dave Allen. I am a fan of David Allen. We've had him on the show before, and his Getting Things Done methodology is fantastic. You're learning it from the guy who invented it. Improve your memory. I can't remember who does that one. I'm sure it's And the Creative Tips series. That's Justin Seeley. I remember that. He gives you weekly 5-minute tutorials to improve your creative skills in Photoshop, Illustrator, WordPress, and more. There's nothing like it. Lynda.com. But you don't have to take my word for it. We've arranged a 10-day all-access pass for you to lynda.com. You can take any course you want. Take all of them if you stay up late. Lynda, no, I don't think you can take 4,500 courses in 10 days. That would be not doable. But you can take as many as you can fit in there. Lynda, lynda.com/iPad. Today, with your membership, you get unlimited access to all the courses, including access on your iPad or your iPhone or Android device, plus new courses as they're added every week. Describe, car, do, it allow. Is this the Swift course? What is this? This is programming. They're great programming courses.
Basic syntax.
Basic syntax of what? What language are we learning there? Testing Ruby. Okay. Wow. This is deep. Very deep. Lynda, Lynda. We're looking at a video right now for those of you listening to audio. lynda.com/iPad today. Try it free. Unlimited use for 10 days right now. Go ahead, learn something new at lynda.com. Did you watch the Oscars last night?
I didn't. I watched, I saw all the important parts this morning on Twitter. And
I bet you didn't see all the important parts. Did you see the ads?
I didn't see the ads.
See what I'm saying?
Wait, no, I didn't see the ads, but I did hear about the important ads.
There was a Martin Scorsese iPad ad.
Yes. And
do we have that? Can we play that?
Hopefully.
Brian, do you? He's running.
You know,
to
the first iPad ad was 5 years ago at the Oscars.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yes, it was.
Wow. Here we go.
Yeah, it's great.
So these are students at
according to the people's values. I'm not talking about
Los Angeles County.
I never liked the inspirational value of that.
Are they high school students?
I think so, yeah.
Laksha. And their assignment is to use an iPad to make a movie. You know, Samsung had a very similar ad but it was a housewife making a movie using all the Samsung devices. I think this is a little bit more realistic. Not that the iPad camera is the best in the world. And that guy talking?
Martin Scorsese.
Scorsese? Who said Martin Scorsese?
I don't know.
Somebody said that.
From a movie, but I can't remember.
It's Martin Scorsese, obviously.
Yes, obviously.
And this is a speech. It sounds like not something. They've done this twice now, where they take a speech.
Every step is a first step. Every brushstroke is a test. Every scene is a lesson.
I like
Every
this.
shot is a school.
I did too.
So
there was another ad.
Continue.
Another ad
that I really liked.
Yes.
There was an ad for Adobe Photoshop. You didn't see that in the highlights either?
No, I just saw Patricia Arquette's speech, which was my highlight. I saw the meme of Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
Patricia Arquette,
there was a meme
fighting for the women.
So Adobe Photoshop is, believe it or not, 25 years old. Here's the ad if you want to.
Yes.
Oh, you don't. Wait a minute. I'm not hooked up.
Oh.
I got to hook up. I got to hook up for you right here, Brian.
So this ad was on the
This was
Oscars?
on, they played it twice during the Oscars. And I really thought it was great, creative, and really great. Didn't particularly have anything to do with the iPad, except that you can get Photoshop on the iPad now. You got it now? Can you see? Just about. He's setting it up right now for us. Using music from Aerosmith. Can you hear the audio? Let me unmute it. Do you hear the audio? Dream On by Aerosmith. I thought this was really a beautiful ad.
It's amazing.
I don't know who they're aiming at, although they showed how movie pictures, posters are made, and some images from movies. So there's a little bit of a movie.
I mean, everybody except me apparently watched the Oscars, so
I love
they're aiming
this.
at everyone.
Not Jab. He's saying, who is this Oscar anyway? And but there's How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
I love this. And of course, they've got to have, you got to have Steve Tyler if you're going to use Aerosmith.
If you own it, you better use it.
You better use it.
However, we don't own it.
We don't own it, so we can't play the whole ad. Yes, we can. Who cares? This is news, my friends. Here comes, there he is.
25 years. Like, that's when we were using the film
Can
cameras.
you believe it? 25 years?
Yeah.
Photoshop's been around a long time.
Yeah.
I like that ad.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good ad.
So the other news was there's a new Modern Family episode
This
called
week?
Lost Connection.
Is it
coming up this
tonight? No, it's tomorrow night, I think. When is Modern Family on?
It's on when I get the DVDs.
Me too. That's when I watch it.
From the library,
Yeah.
as I've said before. But
It's
I
on
love
Wednesday.
that show.
It's on Wednesday. Isn't it
that
great?
show. It is a great show. So it was shot all on iPhone 6 and iPads and MacBooks.
And the entire thing will be shown on one MacBook
Yeah.
Pro, Claire's MacBook Pro. She's at the airport. Phil's watching the kids, except he's just really watching his new video game. And suddenly, discoveries cascade as images leap on screen. The gags and laughs come fast and furious.
But it's not
in this
an ad.
fun-filled battle of the sexes. But it's
It was
not
a
an
product,
ad.
But they've all, I mean, that's just their thing. Like
Apple was at great pains to say they did not pay for this.
They did provide all of the equipment,
I'm guessing
but they didn't pay.
they provided a lot, like millions of dollars. I'm guessing the entire production studio, everybody at ABC got an iMac. I'm guessing.
Yeah. But they've been sort of the Dumfies use the iOS. That's well known. Remember the episode where it was the day the iPad came out and Claire slept through it and she didn't make it to the line. She had to punch someone to get. Oh, love that.
You cannot buy advertising like that.
No.
That is awesome. The director of the show said it was inspired by his own life experience. He was chatting with his college-age daughter on FaceTime, and he realized that on the screen, like their whole life was up on the screen in various ways. And he said this would be a good episode for a show. So he dreamed it up. Apple did not pay. They don't pay apparently money, cash dollar, for appearing on shows. But everybody in Hollywood uses Apples. The only people you can get an Apple product from is Apple. So when Apple says, "Okay, well, we'll give you, Macintoshes for the whole team," they get promotional consideration and some pretty amazing appearances. All right.
So Friday.
That's Wednesday. For those of you who don't watch on DVD.
Don't watch it. When Friday, YouTube announced that they were going to have a new app just for kids.
This is exciting.
Curated, and they said they were going to just launch it on Android. So I immediately
because Google, Android, they go together.
Right. Yeah, and I was, my kid. We have an Android tablet. We have an Android phone. I was going to download it, and then this morning they announced that it was also on. They also had an iPad app. So the YouTube for Kids, it's here's what makes it for kids. It's curated so it's just age-appropriate videos. It has no comments, and as we know, the comments are often the worst parts of the video.
Jim Henson there.
Yes, and also it provides time limits so that you don't have to be the bad guy. And,
that's nice.
Yeah, so...
Except you are the bad guy because you set the time limit, probably.
Right, but if your kid is young enough, they have no idea. They just think it's the iPad says I can't play on it anymore.
Mommy, the iPad ran out.
Yeah, so there are different channels. Hands are for helping.
This is nice because you can, 3-year-olds, 2-year-olds know how to use iPads.
1-year-olds.
1-year-olds.
0 in the womb.
So you can hand them the iPad with this app and say, look, go ahead, knock yourself out, and they're not going to see anything they don't want to.
Yes. There will be advertising, so maybe...
What? No.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Why do you think they're doing it, Leo?
For free because they're nice people?
Yes.
There's going to be advertising?
There will be. It will be age-appropriate advertising, but there will be advertising. I mean, there will be.
Oh, that disappoints me. I thought that was somehow illegal.
No.
Can't go after kids.
What's illegal is to take your information. So you won't have to sign up. You won't have to give an age or anything. It's illegal to do that to anything that a child. That's by COPA rules. So you are kind of anonymous, but you're not really doing anything except looking at the videos. So it's fine. So they get away with that way. And I just downloaded this, so I am not even sure where the timer app is, but we will give a better review of that. So my favorite YouTuber, Miranda Sings. Are you familiar with Miranda Sings?
No, but obviously the kids are.
But she She is not appropriate enough, apparently, to be on this. But
Well,
she is awesome.
Not everything is there yet, and I think that YouTube has said we are growing this, but not all the content that
on the first day, not all the content.
Nothing.
So,
oh, there you go. You found it.
To access, please
Special
enter.
grown-up area.
Right. Oh, look. So it's for kids who can't read. To access, please enter the numbers 2, 6, 4, 7.
You didn't hear us say that, did you, child?
Oh, here's the timer feature. So, yeah.
Right.
So this is great because you can turn over the...
What's the longest I can give the kid the iPad?
120 minutes.
2 hours.
YouTube has decided.
That's the most a kid should ever watch.
Yes, my children have certainly done that. But it is great because I don't talk to a single parent who hasn't said, like, we were watching this awesome video and then the other videos show up and they're just horrible. And, adults should be able to make, whatever rated R movies based on SpongeBob if they want to. I believe in that, so it's great to have a place where you don't have to worry about that. Oh, and learning.
Learning.
Because that is, Khan Academy, big fan.
Oh, that's nice. That's in there. That's good.
Yeah, that's the other thing. YouTube is full of videos that are really helpful, so I would hate to have to avoid that because of it's on the regular internet.
Wow. The one, there you go. So that's available now. It's free. YouTube Kids from Google. And it's ages 4+, made for ages 5 and under. That's confusing.
4+ pages free.
It says on the Apple page, ages 4+, made for ages 5 and under. So apparently if you're 4 years old, this is for you. Not if you're 3, not if you're 6, or even 5.
Huh.
5 and under, so 4 and 5, okay.
Well, yeah.
That's what it says right here, look at this. Made for ages 5 and under, age 4+.
Well, it did get released this morning, so
I will
confusing. Forgive them.
I think that's Apple's stuff.
Yeah. Well, they probably can't say, this is designed for age 1, even though it is.
Even though, if you're a 1-year-old, you know. You know what, there was an ad, and see, you missed all of this, all the fun. By not watching the Oscars. I feel like I can't talk to you.
Oh, but you can.
You're not my kind of person.
All I have to do is search really quickly on the internet. I'm like, oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There was an ad from a well-known fast food company that suckered me in.
McDonald's?
Because it was, it was Oscar trivia. And I was watching the ad. I thought, oh, this must be an Android ad. Big Apple plus Big 8 plus normal size lady. That's King Kong, right? Alien plus candy plus long
Trivia,
E.T., right?
Gotcha.
Swimmer plus oceans plus da-dum, da-dum. Jaws. 12 bad guys, 1 good cop, 2 bare feet. I don't know what that one is. Fava beans, Chianti, people.
Yes.
Yo plus Adrian.
Rocky.
Anyway, I thought this is a great ad. And then it's a McDonald's ad, which really peeved me.
They've got a good marketing team. Did you hear last month when they were giving away hamburgers for selfies?
Yes. Did you get, I stayed away from McDonald's for a month so that I wouldn't be told to call my mother because I didn't want to do that. And then there's the McDonald's part. Look how they did that. Look how they did that. They suckered me in. I was so angry at the end of that.
So McDonald's also was telling you, like J.T. Simmons telling you to call your mother?
Yeah, like J.T. Simmons.
I didn't watch, but I learned
you
that.
Knew.
I knew that
Apple,
J.T. Simmons
real
told
quickly,
people.
new diverse emojis. There are all races of princesses. That's nice.
They're not out. Well, they're in OS 10, but they're in beta.
This is in the new beta that just came out.
Yeah, the new beta, and then they're also going to be in the new beta for iOS.
So this has always been a problem with emojis, that really they were white.
But you know what? It's still kind of a problem. You still have to press on the white one for the other colors
and then you
to show
press
up.
and hold.
Yeah, so the other, why is the white one?
The white's the default.
I mean, you should be able to change that.
So if you pick the old man, here's an example. You pick the old man, you could choose a different variety of different skin tones for the old man.
It's a step in the right direction.
I like it when it's the African-American old man. He has white hair, but every other one has gray hair.
Right. There apparently on
contrast,
Fox News, there was a interesting conversation this morning about the diverse Santa Claus emoji. Some people feel Santa Claus
should not be diverse.
Yes. I do not feel that way.
Santa Claus should not be
Santa Claus should be
diverse.
whatever you imagine him to be.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got some tips from our viewers. Email too. But first, I got a tip for you. Go to Gazelle. Stop throwing your old iPads and iPhones in a drawer to gather dust. You wouldn't do that with a $100 bill, would you? You probably got hundreds of dollars sitting in your drawers around your house. Your old gadgets, your old phones, tablets, computers. Gazelle will buy them off of you for top dollar. The nice thing is you can go to Gazelle right now and get a quote, and you still have 30 days to take advantage of it. You're locked in. You got a rate quote that's locked for 30 days, which means you have time to buy a new product. If you haven't done that yet, transfer the data over and ship it or back out. I mean, you don't have to do it. So that's nice. You can say, well, you know, what would I get? Get a quote. Now you got that in your back pocket. You got negotiation power. Gazelle, Gazelle.com. Now, you may say, well, what happens to my iPad, my iPhone, my BlackBerry, my Samsung or Google tablet? I'll tell you what happens. The very best of the best is sold at Gazelle. They now have Gazelle's certified product page. These are pre-owned products, 2 different conditions, like new, which basically means unused, and gently they call it what do they call it? Certified good.
Like new.
Like a good. They're not like new, they're good. And that means they've been slightly, you know, there may be some gentle signs of wear, but you'll save, of course, even more money. And chances are it's in better shape than that iPhone you dropped or lost, or your iPad that you gave to the 3-year-old and he promptly used it to hammer a nail. All devices have been put through a rigorous 30-point inspection to ensure they're fully functional. Certified pre-owned devices are backed by a 30-day risk-free return policy, too. By the way, if he did use the iPad to hammer a nail, Gazelle also buys broken iPads and iPhones. So you can even get some money for your old iPad. Get paid in cash. Payments fast within a few days of your item being received. It's risk-free. If you forget or cannot wipe the data, they'll do it for you. Over $200 million now paid out to more than 2 million customers. Just an incredible, incredible service. I love Gazelle. You will love Gazelle. Gazelle, Gazelle.com. Free shipping, fast processing, cash in your pocket, or maybe a new gadget at Gazelle. Mike Fordyce sent us a note. We mentioned that Google Play Music has been updated, but he pointed out so has Inbox. Do you use Inbox?
I do not. I have many invitations, and I don't know that you even need an invitation anymore. But
I think it's open now.
Yeah.
I love Inbox, but up to now, if you use it on the iPad, you had to use the iPhone version. Now Inbox, which is Google's, it's an alternative interface to Gmail, so you have to be a Gmail customer. If you use Gmail, Inbox is fantastic. For me, anyway, it's a great way for me to quickly do triage on my email. And this we've shown before programs like Mailbox and Accompli, which is now Microsoft Outlook, where you can swipe. This is very much like this. Here's an email from my mom. Now, I might be tempted with this email to swipe this way and archive that sucker, but no, because if I do that, by the way, there's an undo button, which I really like. What you might also want to do is swipe this way, and you can say, you know, snooze this until later today or tomorrow or next week or someday. Pick a date and time. You can even pick a place. So you can say, hey, the next time I get home, can you pop this up again? Because that's when I want to answer my mom. It's also got a very nice sweep feature. Up here, you see I could sweep this entire inbox. Or on any individual email, I have some choices. Check means archive it. That's the timer thing. And then I can also pin it, which means it will be pinned to the top of my inbox stream at all times. There are further things that you can do. You can, yes, there's folders. You can filter things into folders. I think Inbox, and it has the default, by the way, the default folders that Gmail has, so that, you know, if you have, what are the default folders? Social updates, forums, purchases, and then travel. And I made a couple of extras. Here's a Twit folder, a Lisa folder. They've got filtering. I just am a big, big fan of Inbox. And now that Google Inbox, and by the way, it's totally free, supports the iPad. This is, to me, iPad is a natural for doing email because I can quickly triage the email. If I want to respond, I can dictate. Here's the compose button down here. This little, let's go back again so I can show you a little red button. It remembers the people you've emailed most often. My mom, my wife, and me. I email myself a lot. You can create a reminder. By the way, my reminders go in here as well. So every, for instance, every Tuesday, every Monday night, I'm going to get a reminder at 9 p.m. saying take out the trash, because I forget. And I can send out an invite or compose to anybody else besides those. Really a nice app, very simple to use. Not everybody loves this, I have to point out. I see people all the time there, but there's real mixed feelings about Google Inbox. Do try it, because for me, this is I finally, for the first time in my life, have Inbox Zero, because I can quickly sweep through stuff that I don't want. Really is nice, and it's my favorite email program, which is now on the iPad in a native form, and that's really good news.
You don't need Invite anymore. I just downloaded it, but you do need for work email. So like our work email, but they just said they're bringing that to, yeah, that
will make Jeff Jarvis very happy.
Yeah, that's coming to work email. But yeah, you sold me, Leo. I'm not.
Well, try it. I'm not saying it's for everybody, but boy, it really is great for me. And it is similar to Mailbox, but I think it has some really nice features, but you have to be a Gmail user for it to make any sense. We got an email from Gabe in Miami. We've complained so many times on this show about Apple's terrible search in iTunes, app search. It kills me because we'll recommend apps and people will type in the name and it just can't find it. So he said there's a new service that he thinks is better. It's called Appakin. It's like napkin with an app. APPAKIN.com. It's a discovery tool. It's an app search engine that uses categories to help you find the apps you want. He says it does a better job. I haven't done extensive testing. I just got the email, so I don't know. But if you've been frustrated, as I have many times, let's just see. If search iPhone and iPad apps, let's say Google Inbox. Let's see what it looks like here. This is a web page, appakin.com. I'm going to do the search. And, well, this is kind of interesting because it didn't, in fact, find Google Inbox, but it found a lot of email programs. So it's like by category search. Am I missing it? Did it not find? There's a Complete.
I don't think so.
There's Mailbox, we mentioned. There's Google's Gmail app.
The app has a checkbox in it, the inbox.
Yeah, I don't see it. Isn't that funny? Well, maybe it isn't a better search tool than Apple's own search. But at least what it does is if you search for one thing, it'll give you other things in that category. So that might be helpful. I'll start using that for
I like it.
For
I'm going to start using it for i5.
There you go. You need it. That's hard. You got to come up with 5 apps every week.
Yes,
That's got to be tough.
It is. Whew.
Well, you could use this. You could just pick one category and do 5 things from that category.
I could.
Look at that. We thank you for your emails. Email us at iPadtoday@twit.tv. You leave a voicemail at the number no one calls. 757-504-IPAD. That's 757-504-4723. And we would love to hear from you. Oh.
Do we have that video from the woman who sent us the tip?
Let's get the video tip. Do you have that, Brian Burnett? I got it. And then we need our app caps. John?
I have a cap here.
Do you have the one that I want you to have?
Well,
yes,
I don't know. Is that the one? It wasn't. I didn't pick it out myself.
Where's no? That's the one I want you to have. I got mine. Never mind. We do have our app caps.
Okay, but are we going to show that video?
Show the video first.
Hi, Sarah and Leo. My name is Cindy Lovejoy from Salem, Oregon.
Hi, Cindy.
And I just want you to know I've been a fan of the show for years.
Yay.
Sarah is one of my BFFs. You too, Leo. I feel left out. I have a quick tip for you guys. So if you just tap these little dots down here, the iPad will switch to the next screen of apps, and you do not have to swipe.
What?
So how handy is that, right? I mean, come on. I use it all the time. So that was it. Thank you very much. I love the show. Bye.
A tip.
I love that she took the time to send that.
And that's a good way to do it. If you've recorded on YouTube, we love that because we can see you.
Yes.
What was her name? Cindy? Thank you, Cindy. So you see these dots. They're on the screen to show you how many screens you have and which of the many screens you have. In my case, like 10. You're on. Can you show the my iPad? There it is. See the dots here? But what I didn't know is if you just hold those dots, she says, oh, I see. You tap them. You can go direct. Can you go directly to an individual? No, it just goes next or previous. That's kind of cool. No swiping.
Right. Sometimes I get tired of swiping. Sometimes
I find swiping too much work.
Right. And sometimes, you know, the pad on my finger gets all worn off.
I got a worn out pad. So there you go. Thank you, Cindy. That's why we call them tips.
It is cool, and I love that she sent it in.
All right, break time. Get your app cap on. I got to talk about my underwear.
Okay. I might be back when you're done, and I might not.
Depending on what I say about my underwear? You know what? I was looking in my underwear drawer this morning, and my MeUndies popped up. They popped up at me. I am tired of boring underwear, and gosh knows I have a lot of it. But when I look in my underwear drawer now and I see MeUndies, I smile. I literally smile. We spend, 90% of our life in underwear. I don't know where they get that number, but that's what they say. 90%. So shouldn't your underwear be great fitting, softer than cotton, twice as soft as cotton? MeUndies, I will vouch for this because I'm wearing them right now. The most comfortable underwear you will ever wear. Stylish and fun, too. They jump out at you from your drawer. They're crazy. For men or for women, MeUndies, they're made from something. I'm going to test you because Sarah and I did not know. No, you're wearing it wrong. You're wearing it wrong.
What?
No, don't show her. You're wearing it wrong. I'll help you when it comes time.
Okay.
I wore it wrong at first, too. Okay. Your face, yeah. Anyway, you'll see. There's a place for your face. There you go. You see that? There you go. MeUndies are made of, this is a test for you. Do you know what modal is?
Modal.
Modal. Is that how you pronounce it? You knew.
That's
Not only did you know, you knew how to pronounce it.
Yes. I know MeUndies. They're great.
It's sustainably sourced from beechwood trees in the Austrian Alps. Now, we debated whether they should mention this in their ads, because really, it doesn't sound comfortable, made out of beechwood trees.
No.
But it's not wooden underwear. It's a very soft fiber that it uses a CO2 neutral process, very low carbon footprint, saves water and energy. They use a spun-dyed fiber process that makes these color fast, which is very nice. They fit perfectly, and the thing about Modal is it pulls moisture away from your skin so you stay cool. You will love MeUndies. Not my undies, MeUndies. MEUNDIES.com/twit, and you'll get 20% off plus free shipping on your first order. Save even more when you buy a pack. They guarantee you'll be happy or your first pair is free, because to be perfectly honest, they don't want it back.
That's good to know.
Yeah. MeUndies.com/twit. They've got thongs, they've got briefs, they've got tops too for the gals. I don't think they have thongs for men.
They have pants too.
Men's
like
briefs, trunks,
pants.
or boxer briefs. I'm a boxer brief kind of guy.
Mm-hmm. Good to know.
But whatever style you like to wear, they also have tops. MeUndies.
They have all kinds of loungewear, don't they?
Is that what the kids are calling that?
Loungewear, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are wearing funny hats. Well,
this
Megan
is. Not
is.
A hat.
I'm about.
I don't even know if you can hear me.
I can hear you great.
Okay, great.
It's a hat.
It's really an improvement. Last week on TNT, I was wearing a banana. So, yeah, I think we look fantastic.
These come to us. Wait a minute, you can't really tell about this hat.
Yeah.
It's a leak.
Oh.
They come to us from Wales, where these are the traditional hats worn by all Welshmen.
And Welsh
in honor
women?
of, no, just the men.
Oh.
In honor of St. David's Day, which is coming up on Sunday.
Oh. Who sent us these? Our Welshmen
I don't have
in
the
Wales?
letter in front of me,
sorry.
but two guys who were here for iPad Today some time ago.
And they sent
And they actually they make iPad. How do you like my little beard? I got a leak beard. They make iPad software. Marshmallow is the name of the company.
Cool. I love this hat, and
I think you should wear it to school to pick up the kids.
well, I don't pick up the kids anymore.
That's because they said after the last time you wore a hat, don't pick us up
I'll give it to
anymore.
my mom, who is generous enough to pick up my children from school, because I'm busy here.
Well, Sharon, you can wear a little. You're wearing a daffodil hat, and I'm wearing a leek.
I want to borrow the leek for Halloween. May I?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. In October, you come back and.
Okay. Come back. Will I not be here?
No, I mean just come over and say, hey, open your door. I want to take your leek.
Okay. So why are we wearing these crazy hats?
Because
Leo?
it signifies App Cap time, where we award the App Cap prize to the best apps of the week, in our humble opinion. Sarah and I don't know how this started. We started this many years ago, and now it's your fault. It's her fault, but now you have to suffer.
Right.
So why don't you kick things off, Megan Morrone, with your App Cap?
Bill sent me this app, and I'm trying to find it here. Oh, here it is. It's called Mars Colony 2. Now, you were upset.
Wait, your hat, you're wearing it wrong.
I'm wearing it wrong?
Burke says you're wearing it wrong. I don't know how Burke would know. It's upside down.
Like
it's
that.
backwards.
Well,
No.
Her neck is going through where her face is.
Your neck is going, it's the other way around. So put your neck in the face hole. Put your head in what you thought was the face hole.
Say.
Yeah. No, other way. You were right. There.
The neck?
Put your face through there. The idea is that you will have your face will be surrounded by petals when you're done.
Like
Put
this.
your neck through that bottom hole.
Okay.
Put your head. There you go. Now you're cooking with gas.
Okay. All right.
Now how much better do you feel?
If I wore this every day?
Every
on
day.
TN2?
She's sunshiny.
Okay. Well, my app, it looks like I need to turn this around because it's, for some reason, it is not, it's upside down.
I hate it when that happens.
So while I'm turning around, we'll talk about how I know, Leo, you were really upset that you did not get chosen for the Mars 100. Do you know
really want to go to Mars.
So
have they chosen the Mars 100?
They've narrowed it down to 100.
Oh.
So that's the people that get to go to Mars on this reality show if they actually go, which I don't know.
It's just a TV show.
It's just a TV show, but
it's not the Disney Mission to Mars ride.
No, it's Mars 1. They're actually going to go to Mars. I mean, that's the idea. A lot of people are believing that they've chosen these people to go to Mars and colonize Mars and not come back. So
by the way, you should know you're not coming back.
No, you're not coming back.
Is there music?
Yeah. So this is Bill sent this to me because
you're gonna have to lean back.
Right. Okay.
As often happens with these app caps, they get in the way. Okay.
Okay. So Leo, are you a fan of Kerbal Space Program? The Kerbal Space Program.
I am.
Yeah.
Do I have to say yes if I want to go to Mars? Yes, I am.
No, but I am a big fan. That's a video game that is not on. It doesn't have an iOS app yet.
Kerbal, like Kerbal with a K?
Yeah, Kerbal Space. It's a NASA approved. Elon Musk
it's a flight
approved.
simulator. Yeah.
But it's not on the. You can't get it on the iPad. So on i5 for the iPhone, I recommended an app, and then Bill said, "Well, here's my favorite space app called Mars Colony." And it's an educational app. Bill is a teacher, and so you use these little things to. This is the you get to scroll around, look, and you also can go out to Mars, but of course, before you go out to Mars, you have to. Oh, there. Well,
lean back.
You have
pedals in the way.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so you also get to learn your Mars trivia. So, what is the name of the man-made satellite around Mars? A, Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. B, Pathfinder. C, Voyager. D, Mercury.
Pathfinder.
No. Oh, wait, did I do Voyager?
Yeah,
Pathfinder.
you pressed
I passed Pathfinder.
What is it?
Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter.
That's too boring.
So
that's good. So you learn. So this is for kids to learn a little bit.
It's good for kids to learn about Mars.
Is there a simulator here?
This is the simulator. No, it's not the flight. It's not Kerbal Space. That's something different.
Oh, okay.
This is just we're looking around and then what's the density of Mars?
It's about 5 grams per milliliter.
It's about that. I think it's 4. Yeah.
Okay.
I know that
off
because I played
one...
this game. And if you don't, you pass over the markers to answer the questions. And if you don't want to have to find them yourself, you can press markers and then go.
By the way, Megan is a traditional Welsh name. Did you know that?
It is, yeah. And I spell it right too. Yeah. The other thing, you can go out to Mars, but first you have to terraform the atmosphere.
Boradar.
Do you know how to terraform the atmosphere?
No, how do I do it?
Well, you have to make sure that the right levels. You wouldn't want to just go out into Mars, would you?
No, you couldn't breathe.
Sorry, I'm really so into the game. I keep seeing my pedal is going in there. So, yeah, you have to make sure you have the right levels of nitrogen and oxygen and...
I think wearing a daffodil hat is one of the great ways to terraform.
Yeah. This is, when I went to college, it was really, I was imagining this is what I would be doing.
6 years of college for this, she says.
6 years of college. Ooh, it was just 6 years of college. Okay, compared to the Earth, Mars is 1/10 the size, 1/4 the size, 1/2 the size, twice the size.
Quarter the size.
I think it's half the size, but...
Well, you know, you've taken this test
I've done
before.
this, yeah. It is half the size.
Right. So there are 3 out of 20 objects. So basically you're wandering around and finding quizzes.
Yeah.
Here.
It's cool if you're interested in Mars.
Is there any action? Am I going to shoot anybody? Is anybody going to come at me with a wrench?
You're only learning.
Is Alien in here?
Someone keep... there's no aliens yet.
But you are learning.
You are learning.
Is this
a great
free?
app for... It's 99 cents.
99 cents.
It's less than a cup of coffee. Which of these is a moon of Mars? Deimos, Titan, Pandora, Io.
Pandora. No.
I think it's
Titan?
Deimos.
No. Deimos.
Sorry,
You know the answer.
I do.
Apparently, I do not get to go to Mars. I don't know any of this.
Oh, I was just going to terraform
What
the
happened?
atmosphere.
You're terraforming.
Yeah. All right, so terraform controls. Set these controls to the Earth's atmospheric value.
Oh, golly. How much oxygen? Not very much.
Not very much oxygen.
Mostly nitrogen. Yeah, 20, 80
you
maybe.
do know this stuff.
Yeah.
What about the atmospheric pressure?
I say it's 15 inches of mercury. I don't know what it is, actually. 5?
Let's
Really?
try 13.
Is that low?
Oxygen values
Too low. Nitrogen too high. This is good. So you're kind of learning.
You're totally learning.
Where we're going here.
Right. You're not shooting aliens, but you are learning.
Yeah.
Atmospheric is too low. So we can keep playing this, or we can do your app, Cap.
Okay.
And people can download this at the App Store. They have a bunch of different. They do have one that's free where you investigate an island.
Too much
Nitrogen
CO2.
is too low.
Yeah, they have that problem in Mars too.
I would totally go to Mars, but I don't want to die there.
I don't mind dying there. I'm old. I'm gonna die somewhere. I might as well die on Mars.
You have too many people that depend on you here, Leo.
I'll send checks back for my Martian job.
I don't think that works.
I'm gonna get a good job in Mars, and I'll send you a check.
Okay. We don't want you to go to Mars. Plus, besides, you didn't enter the contest yet.
I didn't, and so I'm not. I would, but seriously, I always wanted to be an astronaut.
And I support the people that did decide to do it if they really go, because someone's got to be a pioneer, right?
It's kind of a coinky dink because my app cap involves exploration as well.
Is it killing people?
Nope. It's called, and I thank our great producer Jason Cleanthus for this, the JFK Challenge. It is for children from 5 to 11. No, what is it now? No, it's even older, even like 8
9
to 11.
9 to 11, yes.
It's a brief, small amount of time you can play this game. Your mission is about to begin. So this comes from the John F. Kennedy Presidential Library and Museum.
Ooh.
And it's got history in it. President Kennedy has big plans for the U.S. He needs your help to make them happen. All right, let's make it happen. And you can see my leak outfit in the reflection there.
35th president of the United
There we
States.
go. This is educational.
He believed that Americans could work together to make a better world.
Yeah, blah blah blah. So we'll, your kid will watch this. So you get to do two things. Kennedy's very famous for this Peace Corps, but I think in honor of going to Mars, we should do the space race. Of course, Kennedy was the one who said before this decade is out, we'll put a man on the moon.
First American in space. President Kennedy challenges the nation to explore the frontiers of the universe.
There are games in here that you can play. You're going to learn about the space race. Before you go, we got a complete astronaut training. Would you going to Mars, I'm going to the moon. Let's do some astronaut training. Tilt your iPad to steer, stay between the lines and dodge. So this is good. This is one of those educational games where they give you a little bit of fun, like yours, in the middle of the game. Are you ready? I'm going to steer between the dots. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Anyway, that's okay. It's not the most exciting game in the world, but it's enough to get kids, interacting with the game. Let's, all right, quit.
I like it.
But you get the idea. There's a timeline as you unlock things. You'll go all the way through. You're going to have lunar lander, which is a lot of fun. Actually, I wish I could do that stupid driving thing so I could show you the lunar lander. The Saturn V launch. We'll fly to the moon. Isn't this cool? But it's not just a space race. You can also do the Peace Corps if you want and save humanity.
Washington, D.C., 1961.
How much does that cost?
President Kennedy
This is free.
created the Peace Corps.
Free?
I think it's free.
Who traveled to
We're going to skip the intro and, of course, another timeline. I'll have to learn Spanish in this one. Shall we learn Spanish?
Sure.
Do you know Spanish?
No.
We're going to use the pictures to remember what each Spanish word means. So there's some real value, I think, to this. It's a lot. Perro. Isn't that one R in perro? Am I wrong?
No, I think it's 2 Rs.
Pantalones. That's pants.
Wait, so why are we learning Spanish?
Because we're going to Colombia. Grava. Okay. These are all the things you need to bring. Bricks, gravel, your pants, and a dog. And a book.
And your favorite music streaming service.
Cemento. So these are all the things you're going to need. Camisa. To wear your shirt. Agua. Cerveza. Okay, now we've learned the words. Pero. That looks like is that a dog? No, that's grava. Grava. Hello, grava. There we go.
Is there an app for every president or just
No, this is from the
important
JFK Library.
Oh, it'd be cool if they. I mean, I'm sure
This other one should do it now, right? Camisa.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is fun.
I really like that.
Yeah, I think this would be great. I don't know why they say it's very specific 9 to 11-year-olds, but I guess it's,
Maybe it's based on what they're learning in those
fourth,
ages.
fifth, sixth grade, I could see schools doing this. I think this is really cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna recommend this.
There's some
to my
learning
children's
about
teachers.
Kennedy. He's got big plans, and you can have up to 3 players simultaneously.
I like how you said that in the present tense. Kennedy has big plans.
Big plans. Hey, how old would JFK be today if he hadn't been assassinated? I don't know. The JFK Challenge app created for kids 9 to 11 introduces kids to John F. Kennedy and 2 historic initiatives, the space program and the Peace Corps. They didn't put the Bay of Pigs in here because that's complicated.
Right.
So you didn't learn all this stuff.
What do you think the force of gravity is? What fraction of the Earth's gravity?
On Mars, it's 75%.
No, the force of gravity is what fraction?
Well, what's the fraction?
I hope these answers are correct.
3/4.
It's 0.36.
A third?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I can't bring Mr. Leak with me.
I guess not. But I don't know if I thanked Bill for sending me this link. Thank you very much. I love it. And someone in the chat room, which might be Bill, because he did say he was going to try to be in the chat room while we were doing the show. He said Science Island is the other app that they have.
Science Island. JFK would have been 98 this May.
Oh. Did you figure that out in your mind?
No, the chat room figured it out in their minds.
Your mind, our group mind.
They are my mind. They're the hive mind. Well, that concludes this special edition of iPad Today. Megan Morrone, thank you for filling in for Sarah Lane. We believe Sarah will be back next week. We do these shows normally now Saturday right after the Tech Guys, about 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2200 UTC this coming Saturday. And then the days when Sarah can't do it on Saturday, we'll do it on our old time, the following Monday with Megan, because she's here and she's got nothing better to do than wear a sunflower hat.
Nothing
you
better.
You look good then.
I think I will wear it, actually. I think I will wear it on the i5 for the iPhone set, because I'm having a problem because it's very dark, and
this will
Sarah
brighten it up.
This beautiful blonde hair that I don't have, and so it like.
You look like she's floating head.
People won't even know I'm not Sarah.
I think you and Marco can borrow these, and you should be wearing them to pick up the kids at school, because you know how it is. Kids in grade school, they love to be embarrassed by their parents.
They do. They absolutely
they
love
look
it.
forward to that.
Absolutely love it. It's the best thing you can do as a parent, really.
Are the kids going to Marco's comedy club appearance?
No, not appropriate.
Megan's husband will be telling dirty jokes, apparently, on Thursday. If you're in Petaluma, at the, what is it, the
Roaring Donkey.
The Roguish Donkey?
The Roaring Donkey on Kentucky Street. And you could stop in here first if you're going to, stop
Come
in
by,
here
say hi, and
right around the corner.
Go with us to the comedy show. Megan somehow has gotten out of it.
Nope, I will not be there.
Lisa and I will be going to support Marco in your absence. Thanks for joining us. That's it for iPad Today. Now, you know what we do at the end?
No.
Neither do I.
I think you're making it up.
No, we do something at the end. I should put my hat back on, my
Oh.
app cap. We howl like small wolves.
You and Sarah howl like small wolves. I can just smile.
I'll howl like a leek, a bearded leak.
I don't know.